Hey, what's up? Duff here. You are looking at the Inmotion V14 Pro. I've done a lot of testing on this wheel. I've had it in the rain. I've had it on the road. I've had it in the air. And I've had it off-road as well. Put this wheel through a lot of different situations. Have somewhere in the neighborhood of 130 miles on the wheel of testing. And I'm going to tell you what I think about it. Let's talk about some of the basic specs of this wheel. This is the third iteration of the V14. As I mentioned, this is the V14 Pro model. Compared to the last model of the V14, they have made a couple changes. They have changed the visuals, obviously. I think this is the best looking version of the V14 with the white, blue, and orange accents. They have increased the top speed of the wheel. This has been increased 15% to 50 miles an hour. Old top speed was 43 miles an hour. They've also increased the torque approximately 20%, up to 276 Newton meters of torque. So it's a very strong motor, has a 9,000 watt max peak rating. So it's a high performance wheel and a 16-inch form factor. In addition, this motor is a C40 motor, which is one of the more powerful configurations that are out there on electric unicycles nowadays. Power platform, 134 volt power platform. It has 2,400 watt hours of 50S cells. In my range test, I got almost exactly 50 miles out of this wheel. Not bad for a wheel that's designed for performance in a compact form factor. 50 miles of range, riding roughly 25 miles an hour most of the ride. The suspension on this wheel, it comes with 85 millimeters of travel. The stock spring, it is a coilover spring with a hydraulic adjustment. The stock spring is a progressive spring with 600 pounds of force initially, 950 pounds as you get deeper into the spring, which is great for off-road riding when you have big drops, obstacles, jumping. You want a stiff spring like that. For my style of riding, which is mostly a hard surface, I opted to install the lighter spring, the 500/600 progressive spring, the Inmotion spring. There's a video dedicated to my installation of that spring. It was not difficult to do, and I preferred the softer feel that I got from that spring. So if you are looking for a more plush ride, it's a pretty inexpensive upgrade. It cost me a little over $100 and maybe an hour of time to install it. So that is an option for you. But if you are into using a V14 Pro for aggressive off-road riding, stick with the stock spring. Pedals on the V14 Pro. They were fine comfort-wise. You know, they are, I wouldn't call these spiked as much as studded. I didn't have any issues with grip. If you are a more aggressive off-road rider, there are aftermarket pedals you can get for this wheel, but for my use case, these pedals were just fine, plenty big enough. The dihedral angle wasn't steep enough to cause me any sort of discomfort, so no complaints about the pedals. The kickstand is very robust, feels very stable when it's sitting on it, made of some sort of high impact plastic. Mudguard, very effective. Like I mentioned, I've ridden this wheel in the rain. It did a good job of keeping my clothing and my legs dry. From the front of the wheel, you can see the headlight, the tilting headlight, good for visibility, nighttime riding. Again, a very sturdy grab handle, which is good for both picking up the wheel and grabbing onto it. If you're doing aggressive braking, you got something you can grab onto there. Trolley handle, I've been very happy with the trolley handle. It pops up easily, has 2 lockouts. You can lock, depending on the height of the rider, lock it there or lock it there. And when you're not using it, it clicks down into place like it should. Looking on top of the wheel, right, this is where the charge ports are located. They are underneath this thick rubber cover. 2 charge ports, so you could, in theory, charge it with 2 charges at once. I believe the fast charging rate on this is up to 16 amps. So you could charge the 2,400 watt hour battery quite quick when you're not using it. This cover fits back in nicely, seals it off from moisture. This is a pleasant change to have an easily accessible charge port. So many wheels nowadays, they like have it down under the front. You know, it's just annoying to get to. They have it underneath a handle and the front of the back. Pain to get to. Having it nice and accessible is my preference, as long as you have a good way to seal it from moisture, and Inmotion appears to do that. The LED display on the V14 Pro, it's bright, it's visible, and includes both the battery percentage and a bar graph for battery. So it's nice that it's forward facing on the wheel. You don't have to look down dangerously low to be able to see the speedometer, so that is a nice feature as well. Speaking of the charger, the wheel comes with a 3 amp charger stock. Of course, you can put a fast charger on it, but the charger that comes with the wheel is 3 amps. So it's going to take a little while to charge this if you're using the stock charger. Okay, so that covers the features, specifications of the wheel. Very competitively featured wheel with other wheels in its class. Let's talk about my experience, my impressions after riding this wheel for quite a long time in varying situations. Visually, I mentioned this in a number of videos. This is one of the best looking wheels I've ever ridden. There's something about the lines of it. I actually like this color scheme. It's probably not for everybody, but I like the color scheme, and I think it's one of the best looking wheels out there, without a doubt. Of course, riding a wheel is a lot more, the way a wheel feels when you are riding it is more important than what it looks like, in my opinion. And luckily, the V14 Pro is a great experience riding the wheel. When I first stepped on the wheel, I required no adjustment period whatsoever. I stepped on it, I felt comfortable, the wheel felt stable, it was agile. There's a lot of wheels that I get on and I feel unsure of myself, and it takes a significant break-in period. The V14 Pro had none of that. It was a step on and go wheel. I did primarily hard surface riding. Like I said, I did the range test. I did a speed test where I got the wheel up to, I think, just about 43 miles an hour wheel speed, app speed. And despite that speed, it felt very stable. I never experienced any beeps, any issues of feeling like I was out of control, even at that speed. And a lot of the time that I'm riding this wheel, I'm cruising in the 30s, and it feels great. Again, you're not even thinking about the wheel. It just feels very comfortable in those conditions. Taking the wheel off-road, the aggressive tire, the power, it did a really nice job off-road. The shock did a great job in off-road condition, as you would expect it to perform that way, and it does. Once I changed the shock to the lower tension spring, it became even nicer on the road. You know, jumping off of curbs, going over bumps, potholes. All of that became more plush after making that change. So again, as I said earlier, if you're looking for a more plush ride, try that lower spring. And just as been the case with pretty much every Inmotion wheel that I've tested in the last few years, the V14 Pro just has a quality premium feel to it. Everything just fits together well. It feels like a finely engineered product, and that's just Inmotion, in my opinion, has been the leader as far as engineering, build quality. The P6 is another great example of that. But the V14 Pro, it feels a level above other wheels out there, as far as it feels like almost like the Apple of the EUC industry. There's lots of good wheels out there, but there's something about the Inmotion build quality that always has stood out to me. Another thing Inmotion has done recently is opened a US-based support center. So you get a great after sales service with Inmotion now, with the ability to fix wheels in the United States without having to send to a dealer, which is a great addition for Inmotion wheels, in my opinion. And the Inmotion V14 Pro is on sale currently, the Inmotion summer sale. They have the V14 Pro for $200 off, currently listing at $26.99. In today's EUC market, you get a lot of wheel for $26.99 compared to wheels that cost, you know, $1,000 more. It's a nice value. If you're interested in purchasing a V14 Pro, you can check out the link below. That's my affiliate link. And there's also a code there that you can use to get a discount on wheels that are not currently on sale. So check that out as well. So that wraps up my series on the V14 Pro. Even though the series has come to an end, that doesn't mean you're not going to be seeing the wheel in a lot of my riding videos in the future. This has become one of my favorite just grab and go wheels. Once you get moving, it feels agile. Even though it is, I believe, an 86-pound wheel, it feels and rides less than that. So I'm really pleased with the V14 Pro. I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't really know all that much about the wheel prior to receiving it, and now that I receive it, I understand why a lot of people love their V14s. So give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the V14 Pro and the stuff that you've seen in my series, or in general? I'm always looking for any commentary on the various wheels that I review. If you found this video interesting, please think about giving it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you're going to subscribe, you can hit the notify bell that's over there somewhere. And again, look for the link in the description. If you are interested in buying the V14 Pro or any Inmotion wheel, they have a wheel to fit pretty much any desire you can think of. You know, if you're an off-roader, commuter, you need a little grab and go wheel like the V9, or if you just have someone that wants to learn, the E20 I have one of those. That's a great wheel to get someone up and rolling and get them interested in the hobby. So Inmotion really has a diverse lineup, topped off by the Monster P6, which is the performance king out there as well. So that's all I have, guys. Again, I hope you enjoyed the series. I spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of enjoyment, a lot of smiles riding this wheel. So hopefully you can find out for yourself. That's all I have for now. Have a great weekend. Duff out.